Michael.
Hello.
Yes, we
Hello.
can't do it today, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Want some assistance?
Yeah, a need, not a question of want. It's a question of
And I'm
need.
taking
Okay,
her
Adam.
off the
Adam.
next
Adam,
couple,
clear.
and there you go.
How can I help you?
I can no longer push this myself. Thank you. I think somebody, hang on, I think somebody spiked the somebody spiked the nails because Bernie wanted it in a specific place.
Then you should have brought me the
So-
book yesterday.
But I don't see the spikes.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Okay, so we'll just approximate it.
Oh, I see.
You do?
Oh, so you're saying that tape on the floor?
There's tape on the floor,
So
yeah.
I see tape here.
I know,
Okay.
he knows.
So let's
That's,
see.
that's tape.
So that, let's see, where do you see?
Right there.
Oh, there it is, okay. So that's probably for that week.
Okay. All right.
Is there tape over here too? Because if we got tape for two of them, then we can.
Then we were in the right
I
spot.
only see one piece of tape.
Yeah, right. Somebody moved the tape. This is,
Okay.
Is that right?
this is tape, but it came out. It came out.
Aha, there we go.
That's,
There we
yeah.
go. All right, well, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? No, I don't use that, I don't use that.
Oh, you don't use
pencil,
that?
I use these. Got no back support. All right. Now,
What do you use? Do you need me to get something for you?
let's see. Let's see. So that, I use this. This is
Okay.
gonna sit there. And then I think I can handle this by myself.
Okay. Oh my God.
Let's see. No, I use the two, that's the point. That's Thanks.
One on top of the other?
Yes, sir, just like they were. There you go. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
What time is it? Oh, it's 11 already.
Can I help with these or you got it?
Yeah, let's go. One of these goes on the far and one of these goes on the near. Okay.
Ready?
No, they're not connected at this point, but they will be soon. All right.
These little things kind of like, yeah. I hear you. I hear you. Okay, so if you would do that, it's okay.
And here, you can plug that into the back of it.
It'll work.
I'll go get some microphones.
Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Yes, yes. Hi. Hello. I'm Jerry. I will be doing the announcements. Okay. Offering and, what else? Announcements, welcoming, okay? I do the welcome at the beginning of service.
Okay, and do you do the landing
All
zone?
right.
No, who's doing the land
Let's see.
acknowledgement?
Here, you can
You want to ask?
plug that into
Oh,
there.
yeah, all right,
Put the
Sid.
wire under.
Yeah, I don't breathe well, so.
Yes, that's okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
And you can plug it into one.
Hi. Happy Mother's Day, Leslie.
I'll plug this into two. Hello. How you doing?
Hello.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
My son is happy that you'll be joining us.
Really, okay, I hope it's all right, yeah,
Better than all right.
yeah. Okay.
Better
I
than
met him, so yeah.
He's a good guy. As a matter of fact, he said, yeah, I'd be glad to. He said, if she declines, I'll see you next week. So he's fine, he's good.
Hi, Michael.
Hello.
Reverend Carol,
Yeah,
I have the check. Should I leave this? That's yours.
thank you.
Thank you. Dry this time.
And it's dry, yes, keep it away from water, I would rather keep it away from water.
All right, let's see where we're at here.
Okay, I'm gonna go up.
You first.
I'm not gonna trip over anything.
You next.
Hi, Irene.
Hello, my daughter,
Happy Mother's Day, ladies.
my daughter went to Switzerland. She's not around.
12:10.
She went to see her dad. So
At least that's what it sounds like. Amy stands there behind it.
I know. I remember.
Mine,
Same to you, I'm sure you heard your kids.
42, minus too loud.
Yes, same to you.
I just
Yes,
got
I have to go right in, sir, we have to leave.
Oh, my
You know,
God, yeah.
but I think Adam, what Adam was here. Okay, yeah, because I have this whole year,
that nice.
that's good tonight. She's going,
23, 24, 25. There we go.
and then, she's gonna go down to Doris to the airport for that. Oh, that's it. That's it, so, that's it, we'll figure it out.
All right,
Yes, we
almost
will.
there.
Hi, happy Mother's Day. Thank you.
Are we good with all the AV stuff?
Yeah. Good, thanks for your help.
Sure. He's with Vita. He's running around somewhere.
Oh, okay, I see her.
Is Stevie here or anybody? Who else is here? Is, is there relatives here too? Just come to us, she would know.
I don't know, but Petra has to contact I know, but Petra responded to that.
No, she's not here.
You wanna make a trip?
I guess.
Yeah, I get you.
Okay, and also this,
So next week, oh, you probably know.
what's next week?
Yeah.
I have to go Vegas and stuff.
Right, I'm not here, I'm in Mexico, and you don't need it.
Yes, she's away.
Very exotic.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and I think, we could share,
Yes.
I can, who bring the soup?
I don't know, I don't soup cook.
Can you tell me the soup?
I don't cook, yeah.
Yeah.
Not for a Sunday.
Yes. Yeah, I was gonna do matzo soup with someone.
You won't have time to eat it today.
You won't have, you can take some home though. Oh,
She's going to the airport.
I thought of you because I'm gonna do matzo soup and it's so unhealthy. So I said, maybe you could do this wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like. Yeah, no.
You understand?
Huh?
You can take some Italian, is anyone know?
Oh, I'm not, we're gonna run out of here because I have to, have a lot of
You have to
things
get your
do.
dog.
Yes, yes, and then I have to leave him because my son is taking us out to
Oh,
eat.
that's right. You're the Mother's Day.
Yeah, right.
You have a lot on your plate today.
Yes, I do. I thought she was gonna bring the dog to her. Mistake.
I think though, even when I fly,
Made a mistake.
I get to the airport super early, she's going international.
I know,
So, yeah,
I made a mistake, but that's okay, we'll figure it
I'll
out.
figure it out. I'm a
Absolutely.
little jealous that you didn't see
Thank you, Michael. Welcome to UUCCN, the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Central Nassau. I'm Jerry Foray, and I serve on the Board of Trustees. Today's service is led by guest minister Reverend Carol Houston. She is joined by music director Michael Santanilla and religious education teacher Vita Landrum. Reverend Carol was ordained into the UU ministry in 1992. She serves two congregations, one north of Detroit, the other in White Plains, and she currently serves the South Nassau congregation in Freeport. Her ministry includes work with the International Women's Convocation, a UU organization that networks and supports women's leadership around the world, and with other groups focusing on poverty and climate change. She enjoys living in a diverse neighborhood in Washington Heights. Welcome back to UUCCN, Reverend Carol.
Thank you. Good to be here. Thank you.
If you're new here, please know that this is a welcoming congregation, a special community that supports one another on a spiritual journey. We are people worshiping together from many paths who are brave, curious, and compassionate thinkers and doers. We are here to help one another do the difficult work of seeking meaning, acting for justice, living with integrity, and walking with one another in peace and love. We hope that this hour set apart from daily concerns will renew our spirits, strengthen our love for one another, and embolden us to bring reconciliation wherever we find division. It's good to be together.
And it is good to be here. My colleague Pedro will also be helping with the worship service, leading some responsive readings and things like that. And I'm very glad to be with Pedro here today. Come into this house of worship. Come into a place where we can be honest and comfortable with each other. Come in on this day that the U.S. secular surroundings call Mother's Day. It's a more complicated day than we might think. For some, it is a day of loneliness for a mother that has passed away, or for a mother who is at a distance. For some, I have heard through the years, it's a day of confusion, a day laced with anger. If the mothering, the parenting was not what was needed for a child. It can also be a day of sorrow, and I've talked with women and men who feel this as well, for those who wanted passionately to be parents, but could not find a way to do that. It's a complicated day, but it is a day to honor caring, and a day to honor and understand that mothers and fathers and grandparents and aunts and uncles and mentors bring caring to the world and compassion to the world. And we can honor that here and hope that it can grow. And we light our chalice today, and I don't know who is going to light it.
I'll light it.
All right. We light our chalice today for caring and for understanding when caring falls short, which happens in our human world. So be it. We are gathered, the chalice is lighted in this congregation and other congregations around the country and around the world We are together with those whom we can talk to and be with and grow to know. So be it, and amen. I think we have a song next.
No, land acknowledgement.
The land acknowledgement, and Baker's going to do a land acknowledgement.
Okay.
We are here on the ancestral lands of the Merrick. We were put upon Turtle Island to be caretakers, to gather in a good way, to be with Earth's children in all their forms, those of the land, the water, and the air. Let this land acknowledgement be the beginning of our return to unity. Let us be guardians of the waters, air, and earth, the four-legged, the flyers, the swimmers, the crawlers, the mammal people, the rock people, and the green. Let us be the guardians of harmony and kindness. And now we will have our opening song.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do,
Yeah.
let's do, come sing a song with
Okay.
Okay.
me. 346. Yeah. Yep. Apologies to those of you who had already found page 64.
Yes.
And you're on the case, right?
Yes.
Right. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. That I might know you are. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and rose.
And now we will have a responsive reading for our peace candle lighting, and it is the Mother's Day Proclamation, number 573. I'll give you a moment.
Written by UU.
Arise then, women of this day,
Arise, all women who have hearts, whether your baptism be that of water or tears.
say firmly, we will not have great questions decided by irrelevant agencies.
Our husbands shall not come to us, reeking with carnage for caresses and applause.
Our sons shall not be taken from us to unlearn all that we have been able to teach them of charity, mercy, and patience.
We, women of one country, will be too tender of those of another country to allow our sons to be trained to injure theirs.
From the bosom of the devastated earth, a voice goes up with our own. It says, disarm, disarm.
The sword of murder is not the balance of justice. Blood does not wipe out dishonor, nor violence indicate possession.
As men have often forsaken the plow and the anvil at the summons of war, let women now leave all that may be left of home for a great and earnest day of council.
Let them meet first as women to bewail and commemorate the dead.
Let them then solemnly take counsel with each other as the means whereby the great human family can live in peace.
And each bearing after her own time the sacred impress, not of Caesar, but of God.
And that is the true origin of Mother's Day. And with that, we will now have our affirmation, which is on the back of your order of service, our responsive reading, our shared Unitarian Universalist values. So if I could trouble the Anita for some more candlelight in here.
I'll put candles.
Yes, oh, you can take the candle into it, that might be much easier. Yes, yeah, I would do it that way.
Just take the whole thing. Take the whole thing. Just take the whole thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, all of them. Well, the one in the middle first, yes, the love. Love is at the heart of our values.
We promise to live our values every day with love at the center of all things.
Equity is the value of our inclusive community.
We believe in the inherent worthiness of all.
Interdependence teaches us we are all connected.
We will only be made whole when we live as co-inhabitants of the world.
Justice is essential for peace and building a beloved community.
We will work to dismantle racism and other oppressions in ourselves and in our institutions.
Generosity expresses compassion, gratitude, and hope.
We will offer our faith, ourselves, and our resources.
Pluralism encourages respect for diverse beliefs.
And allows us to be curious as we learn from one another.
Transformation allows us to adapt to an ever-changing world.
We are evolving and growing. We are never perfect.
And now we will have our announcements.
No, I think offering,
Okay,
I think it said.
okay, you're right, this is separated, yes.
It's time for our offering and Thanksgiving. Thank you for your support of UUCCN. Your pledges, donations, and volunteering sustains our congregation as we are 100% dependent upon our member, friends, and guests. Please give today when the ushers pass the collection plate in a minute, or you can use a credit card on our website, uuccn.org. One of our traditions is to share our Sunday collection plate with another organization whose work aligns with our values and principles. For the month of May, we support the Living Legacy Project. The Living Legacy Project leads pilgrimages to important sites in America's civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s. The group seeks to challenge, inspire, and equip people from diverse backgrounds and identities for justice work in their communities and beyond. UUCCN has a special connection to the Living Legacy Project. It was co-founded by a trio. UUCCN's dearly departed minister, Emeritus Reverend Dr. Hope Johnson, her sister, and current UUC members, Dr. Janice Marie Johnson and Reverend Dr. Gordon Gibson. Please help us with this important work by giving today. If you're sending a check, please write "Share the Plate May" on the memo line. Thank you again for all you do to support our congregation. We are truly grateful and truly blessed by the generosity of our community.
Now come the announcements. Oh, they're there, okay, cool, yeah.
Thank you.
This is the time your congregation sets aside for joys, concerns, and sorrows. We listen to each other. It is good to know when there is a joy in someone's life, because we can share in that joy as friends and colleagues. And it is good to know when there are concerns or sorrows, so that we can support the person as they face what they need to face. We feel the joy, we feel the sorrow, even if the cause is not stated. But this is a time to state your joy or concern if you wish. Please just stand where you are. I think sometimes you had a microphone, but you also can speak loudly, I think. Yeah.
I have some joys.
Yeah.
My husband Dave is with his daughter Amy down in North Carolina for his grandson's college graduation. Very big and very joyful. He sent me back beautiful pictures. And next weekend he's flying from North Carolina to Virginia to be with his other daughters. His granddaughter's graduating from college. And she already has a teaching position, has been offered, and she already signed it. So that's very joyful for him. And for me, I had a joy. I go to Morocco today with my daughter. A nice little trip, so she and I are going together. Couldn't think of a nicer Mother's Day to spend my time with her. So that's my joy.
Yeah. I've got two. First one is, I love that we are not slick. I mean, you know, I spent decades and decades in show business and learning how to make things well practiced and slick and entertaining and frankly artificial, you know. But I love that here it's like, well, we're going to do the offerings now, we're going to do the announcements now. We got to do a song, or we got to. But here it's not slick. It is organic. It is authentic, and I love it. All right. So here's another joy. I had another joy. Oh yeah. So the new Pope and I, you know, I've not been a Catholic for a long time. I am not any kind of a believer. I'll confess that. But he issued like his first statement, and I'll leave it to those of you who haven't read it to read the whole thing. But I'm just going to tell you the last thing that he said was, "Be awake, be loving, be woke." Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I know, it was great.
I was going to echo that, I read the whole thing, in that the world is looking for some hope. Under the atmosphere that we are in, people across the globe are feeling a sense of anxiety and fear. And though we may not be Catholic, we are Unitarian Universalists, we share in the desire for hope, for something positive. And so much attention is being then you can have me. And so there's that, and a very short conclave. We have an unlikely person, but maybe very likely, to be in the position to say what needs to be said. And so, as a former Catholic, I'm feeling hopeful about this person and the message that it sends to the rest of the world.
Yes.
I have a sorrow and then I have a joy. My sorrow is for my cousin who lives in the Philadelphia area, and she is an art therapist and works with children with autism, and she was laid off because of the specific cuts by this current administration. And I'm so angry for her, and I'm angry for the children and the families that she was serving, because it's not fair and it's not right. So I'm holding her and everyone who's lost their job now serving the public in my heart. And as a joy, we are shaping up our summer schedule. And on July 20th, we are going to be having Poppy Harold Jones here from the Ramapo Nation.
Well, no, he and I have worked with the Ramapo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I met him from the fall store.
And then after that, we are going to be having a poetry afternoon. And something about UUCCN that I've always repeated from Reverend Hope is, what are we doing here at the corner of Nassau and Stewart? And community groups have come to us to ask us to have vigils, to have rallies. This has been in the works for a few months now after we had our vigil for ceasefire in November of 23. There's a group of artists on Long Island who make art and poetry and music for Palestinian liberation. And they said, can we have a poetry event at your church? And we said yes, and it's been taking a while, but I think that's going to be on July 20th. So mark your calendars. I'm excited to be a part of this event, and I'm just very thankful that we're a place that people are like, let's have it there. Those are the right people to go to.
Yes.
Yeah, I just counterpoint to everybody's joys. My mother-in-law is still in rehab and she's getting increasingly confused. She called me twice last night to go pick her up and bring her home, and she's gonna be in rehab for 4 more weeks. And she's 97, and my 98-year-old father-in-law went on to hospice this week. And the fact that Rick has MS makes everything more complicated. I mean, he came to visit his mother yesterday and that knocked him out, just like, so, whatever. Thank you for listening.
I have 2 concerns to share. A week ago Saturday, an old friend of mine lost her fight with cancer.
Louder, please.
Her name was Dory, and she was just one of the sweetest people in the world. And to lose such a sweet, open-hearted, and feels particularly unfair. Unfair for the world, but I particularly want to lift up her longtime partner of 18 years, David, and her son, her 16-year-old son, Lori, who are probably having this really awful day today. So it's been a good week of seeing a lot of people care a lot about. Irish weeks are definitely memorable, and it was one of those. And so that was good, and I'm glad she's not suffering anymore. But the world has lost someone good. My second concern, I was hoping to have only the one. But last night, my dog reached up on my table and bit my inhaler and got a big dose of albuterol into her face. So we spent the night at the emergency vet. She is still there, but she is doing well this morning and hoping for release tonight.
I need a break.
Just, lifting up Rory, David, and my stupid dog, Chloe. Very much. She is mama's baby.
Anyone else?
I would like to wish Happy Mother's Day to all the people who mothered me before I had my hip surgery. Brought me coffee, carried soup, made sure that everything was fine, and just so much appreciated your love and caring. Thank you.
You're welcome. We do mother and parent each other all through our lives, and that's wonderful.
And I'd like to thank you, Carol, from the moment I came into CUC, and you were preaching on something I had just read, and the music was amazing, and yeah, so you have been mothering me from 2002.
Yeah.
Yeah, April 2002.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So thank you. It's been a joy.
Thank you, Petra. It's good to watch you flourish. I'm very appreciative of that connection. So for all the joys, stated or unstated, we're happy to be together in community where we can celebrate each other and the ways our lives are going when they are joyful. But even more, it's good to be together in community where we can share sorrows, share concerns, support each other, reinforce each other, bring each other hope at moments when our personal lives or community lives seem hopeless. Let's take a further time for prayer and meditation. And I share with others the hope that the new Pope will bring blessing to the world, will bring attention to climate change, to social justice. When we miss that in our own political leaders, there are others we can look to. We can look to other political leaders. And a religious leader that doesn't share all of our values, but can bring change to the world, perhaps. We hope that we, too, as Unitarian Universalists, can bring change to the world, can bring hope, can bring understanding, can bring the will to be together in community across all boundaries, generosity, justice. May these things be with us. I leave some time now to allow you to be with your own thoughts, your own joys, your own sorrows, your own concerns, your own search for hope. In the silence, let's listen to our hearts in the still small voice that may bring us forward. Love, hope, caring. These are not limited commodities. May we find them around us all the time. So be it. Amen. And now we do have music. I know we did.
Now we got announcements.
Announcements.
Now we got music.
Thank you, Michael, for these. Yeah, we are a community doing this all together.
Exactly.
That's what we are.
That's okay.
Okay.
some announcements. Please join us following the service for Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth is what we call the conversation, fellowship, and sharing of food that follows Sunday service. If you would like to help with future Sweet Tooth, there's a sign-up sheet in the kitchen or speak to Anita Coddington. Please mark your calendar for an event that is very important to our congregation, our annual membership meeting on June 8th. It will immediately follow Sunday service. We are looking for members to join our leadership as well as to talk about the issues facing our congregation and to vote on the budget for the congregational year that starts July 1st. If UUCCN means a lot to you, make sure to be here June 8th and to participate. We also hope to see you here in France Hall on June 1st for RE or Religious Education Sunday, an intergenerational Sunday service led by the children in the RE program. The Stewardship Pledge campaign for 2025-2026 is underway. All members should have received a rack card and a donation envelope in the mail. If you did not receive one, there are some on the visitors table in the back. To be a member in good standing, you have to make a financial commitment to support UUCCN. If you have any questions or concerns, please speak to me or another board member. To all members and friends who have made a pledge or a donation, thank you for your support. The UUCC Book Club is reading Firekeeper's Daughter, a novel by Angeline Booley, and meets next on Zoom on Tuesday, May 27th at 8 p.m. Check the UUCCN email for the Zoom info. The summer is fast approaching. Every summer, the congregational year takes a formal break and moves into a slower pace. Spiritual growth continues all year round, even though we may be more relaxed. We invite you to share what is in your heart and on your mind by leading or coordinating a summer service. There are many topics to choose from. Our Unitarian Universalist faith, world religions, poetry, or the arts are good examples of what's possible. We will work with you to create something that we can all appreciate and enjoy. A special appeal to those who have never led a service before. Take a chance. Lead a conversation. Share favorite poems or readings. Share a passion. Talk about something you've learned about your heritage or another culture. Tell us about a new hobby or interest you've developed. Show a video or slides in lieu of a more formal service. This is an opportunity for us to deepen our relationships with each other, to have fun, and to work with each other in new ways. There is a place for everyone. And Michael Sansonier, Director of Music, provides coordinates music for each service. We will provide you with a draft order of service as a guideline, but it may be changed to suit the topic and the format that makes the most sense to you. Elizabeth Gonzalez can help with any questions you may have. I welcome Leslie up here for a special announcement.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Leslie Lieber, congregation member. And last Tuesday in Reverend Page's office, we did a little brainstorming because, of course, we want to improve our congregation and the atmosphere around here all the time and get more people interested in coming here. So we came up with this, family games at UUCN. Come one, come all to family games at UUCN. We are planning to have an afternoon of fun and games right here in France Hall on one Sunday afternoon a month from 1 to 3 p.m. We will have board games, card games, chess, and checkers. There will be games for adults and games for children. There will be refreshments and a chance to earn some winnings. That's pretty good. Please see me after the service to sign up and let me know what games you would like to play. There's a sign-up sheet on the table in the back, like when you first come in. So if you could find the sheet and sign up on that, and let me know your ideas. The exact date will be determined when we get all your input. And looking forward to speaking with you all, and looking forward to a great event. Thank you.
One more announcement.
One more announcement. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm a little slow, but I just wanted to let how I feel about my daughter. I think she is a wonderful person as a with a child. It's just a pleasure to watch her with her son, and I'll rest of this for the rest of my life watching her and her child.
Okay, now we have a song. And a lot of you know this song. You haven't sung it in a long time, but please sing it now. You at least know the chorus, right? And if you haven't heard it before, then you won't be able to sing on the first chorus, but you can sing the second and third chorus, okay? As Pete Seeger used to say, help me out, and I mean that this time, so. Tell me why you're crying, my son. I know you're frightened like everyone. Is it the thunder in the distance you fear? Will it help if I stay very near? I am here, and if you take my hand, my son, all will be well when the day is done. And if you take my hand, my son, all will be well when the day is done. 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 You ask why I'm sighing, my son. You will inherit what mankind has done. In a world filled with sorrow and woe. If you ask me why this is so, I simply don't know. But if you take my hand, my son, all will be well when the day is done. And if you take my hand, my son, all will be well when the day is done. 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 Tell me why you're smiling, my son. Is there a secret you can't tell everyone? Do you know more than men who are wise? Can you see what we all must disguise through your loving eyes? And if you take my hand, my son, all will be well when the day is done. And if you take my hand, my son, all will be well when the day is done. When the day is done. When the day is done.
perfect, very good. Commentators these days are frequently mentioning the Red Scare of the 50s, the McCarthy period. I was alive during the 50s, but not old enough really to notice anything about it, whatever might have been around in the news. Maybe there wasn't much where I was growing up, I'm not sure. But I came to a point in later life and in my ministry where I began to run on stories about the McCarthy period. And they've been much in my mind in recent weeks, and I would like to share them with you today. It's happened in the Detroit area. I was on a committee with an older man named Russell. This was in the 90s. I was in the Detroit area from 1992 to 2001. And Russell talked about when he had first come to be a Unitarian Universalist in the 50s, young man. He volunteered to be an usher in our Grosse Pointe church, in our congregation in Grosse Pointe, which is a relatively wealthy suburb right outside Detroit. And they had a communist minister. They had a UU minister, a Unitarian minister, who professed communism and did not keep that closed. He was willing to share that idea. And the Grosse Pointe Church was actually secretly pretty proud to be so brave as to have a communist in their pulpit. But what Russell remembered mostly were the two men in blue suits who came to the service every week. Not always the same two men, but there were always two of them. They were always dressed in blue suits. They refused to sign the guest register. They sat at the back. If they stayed for coffee hour, they didn't drink coffee. They just stood along the side, sort of watching things. These were FBI agents, definitely. And Russell told that as sort of an amusing story in his memory. Something strange. As far as he knew, their minister never really fell into any difficulty, but he was being watched. They were thinking about it. The other thing that I learned, set of stories that I learned, are more troubling. I had a small congregation, a small New Start congregation, about 25 miles north of Detroit. And we didn't have a regular musician. We hired pianists from time to time and other musicians. And one of the pianists that we used actually most frequently was a woman named Kelly. And she wasn't a UU, but she liked us and she socialized with us. And I had some very good conversations with Kelly. And one of them brought up the fact that she was a red diaper baby. How many of you have heard that term? Okay, all right.
What does that mean?
It means you are a child of a communist family. And it would have been a family that had been out, and they weren't ones that just had a finger pointed at them for doing something. These were active communist families, probably turned to communism in the 30s. I think there was a concentration around Detroit because of the labor unions and the relationship that communism would have had to the labor unions at the time. But Kelly was a red diaper baby, and she told me about that, and then she said, I have a group of about 5 of us who meet every once in a while. You seem interested, would you like to come to a meeting with my friends? And I said, yeah, I would really welcome I went one evening to Kelly's home, and there were 4 other red diaper babies there. Women, they happened to all be women. They were into their early 50s by then, late 40s and 50s. And they spoke about their memories. Again, there were men in blue suits that followed these children around. They would be at school, usually just one, not 2, but 1. And sometimes he would sit outside the classroom, and sometimes he would sit inside the classroom. The teacher would do her best to ignore the fact that there was another person in the room. Obviously, the kids, the 3rd, 4th graders, or high school kids, these were the whole range was represented. They couldn't ignore it, and the communist child would sit there all the time wondering how many of them had figured out that he was there following her around. They had a lot of fear in their lives. They were told not to mention the names of family members or friends anywhere where someone might overhear you. Do not repeat anything you overhear between your parents talking. Don't say anything outside of the home because someone might be listening. And the worst fear was about the telephone. Never say anything important on the telephone. Don't talk on the telephone very much. And the women remembered, yes, there were people listening. They could sometimes hear someone breathing. There were clicks and sounds like that. The phones were tapped all the time, and they were taught to fear that. What a way to grow up. What a way to be the focus of this kind of fear. I listened, sympathized as best I could, but we can't imagine what kind of fear they were under. But an interesting thing happened about a year before I actually met those women. The Clinton administration had declassified FBI files from the 1950s. And so for the first time in the mid-90s, these red diaper babies and other communists from the time would be able to read their FBI files and find out what those people in blue suits had seen and written down. And the women they all claimed their files and opened them with some trepidation. They weren't under any fear directly right then, but they were worried about what they had seen, what they had done wrong, when they had mentioned someone's name that they shouldn't have mentioned, when they had actually said something over the phone that they shouldn't have said. One of the women in the group had a father who was in prison while she was a child. And she was actually asked to carry notes to him. And she was scared to death at that. No repercussions in the 90s, but she wondered whether they ever saw her passing a note or carrying a note. Well, they didn't. In fact, those files contained very little, almost nothing, about the fact that these were children in communist families. It was hard even to tie it to communism, which is what those men in blue suits were supposed to be cataloging. They had files, they had records, they had notes, and they were virtually all about moments that those children had spoken to an African-American classmate, or gone to an interracial party, or dated interracially. That's what they were tracking, and that's what they were writing down. The next time a commentator says that all the problems in this country are at their heart about racism, remember this story. It gives some evidence to that, certainly. That's where we were back then. And a lot of it is where we remain right now, perhaps in worshiping. I'm sharing this story with you today because I do want to put it out of my head and into other people's heads, because I think it is important to have a face on the McCarthy period and on the kind of fear that the government was trying to invoke in certain parts of our population. Fear seems to be a goal that certain governments can engage in. So I'm telling the story for that reason, but I'm also telling the story. Oh, okay. 10 minutes. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, whoop, come on. Blow it
I
out.
have trouble with
Blow it. Yay.
I'm also telling this story because I want to turn it around in a certain way and preach a sort of different kind of Mother's Day sermon, different from what I've done in other years. I want to think about the mothers in those communist families, and the fathers too. How did they teach their children what they needed to fear? How did they teach those daughters how they needed to act out in the world? How early did they tell them about not mentioning the names of family members and friends? How early did they tell them about the telephone and how fearful it was to use the telephone? I'll bet they didn't answer the phone for a long time in their young childhood. I'll bet they weren't allowed to. But what kinds of lessons and how did they teach their children how to get along in a really broken and crippled society, at least from their point of view, as it was? Those girls, those women, had suffered trauma when they were young. I didn't ask direct questions about how it felt now that they were 35, 40 years past it, but I do know, and I do remember clearly, they're saying that they still feared the telephone. 40 years later, they never wanted to answer the telephone. Their telephones were not tapped now, probably, but the fear of the phone was a phobia that they carried from that early period. So how did those communist mothers and fathers cope? Much like African American families. I am sure that Reverend Petra has talked with you about the talk. The fact that a time comes, and usually it's when children are young, and boys particularly, but girls as well, when the mother or the father must sit down with the child and talk with them about how dangerous it can be out in the world. How dangerous it might be if they're driving and get stopped by the police. How dangerous it might be if they're at a younger age even, in a group on a corner and the police come by. How to talk to the police, how to talk to people, how to keep yourself safe, how not to get killed. It's the talk. And I've heard about it from many people, including from Reverend Petra. We parts of the world, even the non-African American, our own elements of things we have to teach our children. Certainly migrants now have to have very complicated talks with their children, even young children. And it's more than just having police or FBI agents or plainclothes people in masks who pick up college doctoral students in Massachusetts. It's certainly more than that. You can be picked up outside. How are the mothers and the fathers talking to their children about that? I don't pretend to know, but I know there must be tough talks. And the families are changing in the ways that they're living right now. I serve our church in Freeport part-time, and that church building houses the office for a day laborers group, and the group comes to the church once a week just for food exchange and other kinds of things. And for the last several years, this has gone on for several years, the church invites the children, the day laborer families, to bring their children to an Easter egg hunt, and so that there's some entertainment there for the children, and it's a good chance to do some outreach that way. Last year, in 2024, they had 42 children at the Easter egg hunt. This year there were 16. They are staying home. They're not going out. All families want to tell their children about stranger danger. Don't talk to strangers, don't get in cars with strangers. That's one of those things that is a talk that I think all families will have. And of course, there's the talk about sexuality and what and when and why and how to be in this world as a sexual person, which we all are. In Unitarian Universalist circles, we have our classes. It was AYS when my children were young, and it's OWL now, OWL. Our community helps in that conversation. That is not a community for us. That is left just to parents, to mothers, fathers, grandparents, others in relation to the child. We have a way of community, as a community, talking to our children about that area of life that is stressful and frightening, that causes worries for us as parents, as grandparents, all of our lives. The one time that I actually was asked by congregants to talk about how to talk with their children was after 9/11. I was at White Plains at that point, had just arrived there, and we had a large community of families with children. And there was real worry and stress, as you will all remember of that time, but they were afraid about their children, and they didn't know what to say to their children. This awful thing had happened really nearby and affected people that some of them knew. How would they talk with their children? And I didn't have an answer right away. But what I came up with, and the only thing I could come up with, is tell your children that you will do your best to take care of them, no matter what happens. And if things get bad, you will still be doing your best. And I think most parents do their best to take care of their children. In some families, it's not enough. It's not enough, and things come that shouldn't come if there were a really engaged, involved parent. But I do think that in general we do our best when we have a child with us, and when we have to be with them during troubled times and challenges like those communist children faced, or African American children, or others. I think we try to do our best. I think we try to do our best. But there are so many worries. There are so many worries when you become a parent. And those worries remain even when the children are grown. Those worries remain when you are grandparents. Those joys of the graduations that David is attending, but also worries about how their children will get along in the world. The one worry that has become more important since I had my children in high school and college is the social networking problems, the problems with things that can appear online about you. How do you talk your child through that? How do you care for your child? How do you find out? How do you comfort them when they're being bullied, either in person, which of course I experienced that, but online too, right now. How do you do that? It is hard being a parent. And I share that with you today not to make you feel guilty for not being grateful enough to your mothers and your fathers. Not to make you feel guilty for not doing enough either. I want us all to take in the idea that it is really hard and there are so many worries. And we send our children out into worlds that are different from the ones we grew up in, that have different challenges. In the 50s, it was the challenge of the McCarthy period. And there have been other challenges. When 9/11 came, it was the awakening to terrorism and what could happen. And now there are many challenges. But we do our best. And we bring our caring as parents, as children of parents growing older, and we do have to care in that way sometimes too in our lives. As grandparents, as mentors, as aunts, as uncles, we bring our caring, and that is what the world needs. It needs to raise children well, but that is such a challenge. But we in UU circles, I think we try to accept that challenge. I think we try to rise to it. I think we try to support each other when children are in distress. I'm moved for the Freeport congregation thinking about the children of migrants. And I know that we're all concerned about children in war-torn areas in Gaza, in so many parts of the world. It tears at our hearts. And that's because we are mothers and fathers from the time we become adults until we die. Even if we don't have our own children, there's places to care. I want us to sing a hymn that's in the hymnal as we close. It's hymn number 409, Sleep My Child. And Michael, we will sing the 3 verses of it. And then I will come back. I want to say something about it after you've sung it, and then we'll sing the first verse over again. Okay? Okay? Yeah, see, we can work things out. Stay seated. Stay seated. Universalists have rewritten it into a humanist style to put in our hymnal. The original words to the first lines were, "Sleep, my child, let peace attend you all through the night. Guardian angels God will send you all through the night." In our wisdom, we have changed it to say, "I will watch you all through the night." And I think that puts so much pressure on the parent. I've never used this song without having the chance to give some commentary on it. And that's where I am right now. It's hard enough to be a parent. We want those guardian angels sometimes, don't we? And as a UU, I do not deny you the chance to hope for that when you really need. But the story that this hymn tells is one person watching over the child, and we can't always do it. We need the help, we need the support of community. We need the help of another parent, we need the help of a grandparent, and we need the help of a congregation and friends around us. And so I'd like to ask us to sing the first verse one more time. I'm sorry if you closed your eyes. Sing the first verse one more time, and every time it says I, please say we.
Okay.
Thinking of a larger family, perhaps, although not always. It's a single parent in so many households. But of a society, of a community that can help watch. Michael, one verse.
Sleep, my child, and peace attend you all through the night. We who love you shall be near you all through the night. Softly drowsy eyes are creeping, ill and failing, slumber sleeping. We are loving vigil keeping all through the night.
We close with the hope that we can understand how hard it is supporting each other, and particularly seeing to, guarding, helping, protecting, warning those more vulnerable people around us. Children who may be in our families, our nieces, nephews, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. That we can defend our parents, our mothers and fathers, when they become vulnerable and fragile as well. A lot of work, a lot of worry. But it is the work we are here on the earth to do. To care for each other and to understand when we can't do that, when we don't receive the care, and when we can look for others in community to help. So be it. And amen.
Amen.
And we extinguish the chalice as we leave, but we stay to talk to each other and eat food first, and then we carry the light of the chalice with us as we depart, knowing we shall meet again. Thank you for being with us.
That's a lot of ground. I'm going to sing The first one, as Reverend Petra reminded us, that the roots of Mother's Day was International Mother's Day for Peace, right? This is before corporations, co-opted it and turned it into a way to increase profits, but it was Mother's Day for Peace, and this song was popular around it. I didn't raise my boy to be a soldier. I brought him up to be my pride and joy. Who dares to place a musket on his shoulder to shoot some other mother's darling boy? Let nations arbitrate their future troubles. It's time to throw the sword and gun away. There'd be no war today if mothers would say, I didn't raise my boy to be a soldier. And, here's the other one. It takes a village, right? For the water in my faucet. Let's do the different verse. Someone grew the grain that landed in my breakfast bowl. Someone milled and someone toasted. Someone carved the little hole. Someone loaded up the truck. Somebody drove the load. And long ago, a lot of people built the road. I have 10 million mothers. They take good care of me. Each one's playing a part in shaping who I've come to be. I have 10 million sources learning, love, and food, and every one of them has earned my gratitude. And every one of you has earned my gratitude.
Hello. Okay, so we were talking about this place being authentic and reminded me of when my son was getting married for the first time.
Yeah.
They refused to have a rehearsal dinner, because if you had a rehearsal dinner, the wedding wasn't really authentic. If you rehearsed beforehand, it wasn't spontaneous.
It's not spontaneous in January because they've got a whole ceremony that's been done for thousands of other people.
It's the same ceremony.
Well, again, if you want to have an authentic and spontaneous
It's funny, but
ceremony,
it's like if you're
they
practicing.
probably wouldn't like it. Yeah. Ah, well.
They didn't have a rehearsal dinner for his second wedding, that's because they didn't have time to plan it.
Hello, Bernie, how you doing?
Great, how you doing?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm okay.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
I'm in studying sound.
Yeah?
I'm come to recognize that the musician when he's playing has to be able to hear what he's playing. So when you have the system working, you're able to not only regulate but hear.
I can hear what's going on.
No, no, with that I'm not talking about here. When we mix this up, I just want to understand.
Yeah, no, I can hear it. It's one instrument. I'm sitting right in front of it. It's no problem at all.
And put a microphone on.
Well, okay, that depends on a couple of things. Where I'm sitting, where the speaker is, and I might have to kind of, in other words, I know how it sounds to me. I don't always know how it sounds to them.
That's what I'm right.
So I kind of finagle.
So when these are working versus that, you're not able to really gauge something.
I wouldn't say I'm not able to, it's just, it just takes a little more carefulness, that's all. But thanks for asking.
Thank you for telling me. From online.
Okay, I'm gonna put a lot of stuff away there. There's a little conductor's room.
exactly right. Put that together like that.
Good job, Mom. Take that.
Try to get a little bit in there.
You did a great job, obviously, right?
I'm only teasing.
I know. But I'm not.